Evening, welcome to the City of Charlestown Redevelopment Commission for Tuesday, July 1st, 2025. Please note that this recording is being streamed by Under Production Multimedia this evening. If everyone would please stand as we begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do a roll call vote to determine the quorum. Benita Pate.
Here.
Bobby Brooks.
Here.
John Spencer.
Here.
Chuck Deaton is absent, and Derek Holmes is also present. We do have a quorum. First item up this evening is we have a presentation by Todd Paxton with 1210 Market Street for a facade. Welcome, Todd.
Pardon?
Welcome, Todd.
Oh, thank you. Good evening, Todd Paxton. I'm one of the members of 1210 Market LLC. We purchased this property, I believe I sent pictures.
Yeah, we sent pictures and they're probably the next page on that.
Got
Yeah, they have that.
Got it. There we go. Former residence, it backs up, is that the American Legion? We always get-
American Legion.
American Legion.
Yeah.
Across from JC, potential development coming in across the street. One of the first commercial properties as you enter town there on this side of the school property. A lot of parking in the back, about 12 spots, and we purchased this property. It's been sitting for maybe a decade. I don't know, Mike Stamper used to own this for a very long time. Mike's just a good, dear friend. He said, please do something with this. And we worked the deal out, and I think it was January. We're like, initially, we wanted to move our office in there for a real estate sales team, to which we've since made some changes internally, and now our office today was our first day in Jeffersonville, so I'll take free rent when it comes to that. So this building, about 1,200 square feet with a basement, 900 square feet basement and some crawl space. But what we're looking to do is deploy about $70,000 to $80,000 of capital into this. We've gutted the inside, we just ripped out all the wiring. It's going to need new wiring as well. So we're asking for the facade grant to assist with windows and roof, that our windows have been ordered, roofing and new doors. We're gonna make the doors 36 inches wide for handicap. The plan is to pour a concrete ramp on the front to make it handicap accessible for more businesses to thrive here in Charlestown, because as you know, there aren't many commercial spots available. Just today I had 2 offices reach out looking for office space here in our town, and they like to be within the main strip here. So that's what we're looking to do, deploy or market this to businesses to come back to Charlestown. So happy to answer any questions, and thank you for hearing us.
What was in there when Mike had, was that the building with the tax office at one point in time?
The
or-
cat was in there for
The carcass of a cat?
I've never gone to the property. I've never gone to the property to the studs.
Okay. Yeah.
This one we did.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it was.
I mean, I should remember, but I can't.
Forest, I'm tax. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But something with that parking lot in the back, they had to have done something. There was
Yeah.
just no going.
Have you got any interest so far in the subject property, some tenants?
Yeah, I talked to a concrete company today that wants to have office space. And I don't know if a couple locations here on the square are suitable enough for, it would be suitable for office personnel, but maybe not a truck or 2. And then another real estate kind of investment fund. So, and that is with zero marketing, minimal marketing with that. And with rent rates continuing to rise, and we're seeing $30 a square foot in the ballpark. So down there we would be, half of that. So that would make it affordable for a business as well, whether it's an upstart, a franchise, or somewhere in between.
Did you say how many square feet is this facility?
1,200 on the main level, call it 800 in the basement, but that's just for mechanics.
Would you be opposed to a sign or signage in the front that's facing Market Street for their property for a potential tenant?
That's the plan.
Okay.
ABC, right? Let's get a plan together to get the property usable, And then when it comes to staging and marketing, that last 30 days, and tenant procurement, we'll have that marketing up front. Absolutely, whatever that looks like. I would like, ideally, to the left of the picture, you can see some trees there. I'll reach out to Duke and see if they can clear up some of the pole-to-pole trees that they have blocking the view. Right now, a sign wouldn't be quite as visible coming from the hospital end of town, just because of the overgrowth of trees there, but absolutely, yes.
As you know, it made it to your packet because Todd submitted it to the city, Tony reviewed it, Tony Jackson reviewed it, planning office, sent it to our office. We reviewed it to make sure that it complied with your policies related to the facade grant, and it does. So, I think, Mr. Paxton is asking that you would award a grant for up to $10,000 or 50% of what he actually expends and submits that information to us for reimbursement.
Like your estimate was around 21 something.
Just for this, yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Roof and windows, I'm not sure if doors were included.
Doors were not on here
We
to,
added doors later, I think.
okay, downspouts and windows,
Yeah, gutters, spouts, roof, and windows, yes, ma'am.
which that puts you over the amount that you can get, so, it's great that you can add doors to.
I mean, I think that it's a place that, as we know, has been sitting there a long time without any real, any aesthetic benefit for Charlestown. So if we can clean it up and make it look better, we being Todd Company, I think it makes sense to invest a little facade money in it. I mean, that's my take on it.
I agree. Encouraging.
I like it as well, especially having an ADA compliant ramp installed.
It's a lot of, as you can see there, there's gonna be a lot of concrete. We believe we have the right company to handle all that. I think that's important. I mean, I had in mind H&R Block for this building originally. Like that's not a big space. They just need 2 or 3 offices and restroom, kitchen, reception. That would work well. And then as those thoughts come about, like there's a lot more of these service type businesses that, whether it's a franchise or local, there's a lot of possibility for the right person, the right business to come in.
I'll make a motion,
I was going to ask for a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the facade grant for the up to $10,000 as it complies with Todd's request in the packet.
A motion by John, is there a second?
A second.
Second by Bobby. Is there any further discussion? Ask for a vote to approve. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Todd.
Thanks, Todd. Thanks for coming and presenting.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate your awesome time.
All right, moving on to the approval of the minutes, you were provided a copy from the June 3rd, 2025 meeting. Ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes.
Do a motion?
I'll second.
Second by John. Any further discussion? Ask for a vote to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes. Next item is claims. You provided a copy of the claims for the previous month, and Jill has one addition to add to those claims for an invoice from HWC Engineering for the amount of $4,900.
$4,900, and that is an invoice for the FAP master plan that they're under contract to do.
Make a motion, we approve the claims
I'll second that
with
motion.
the addition of the judges.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Ask for a vote to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone signed up for public comment? No one signed up for public comment. Brings us to the next item, consultant report from the Wheatley Group.
I've highlighted a couple of things. If you all have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them. The comprehensive plan, just to give you an update on that, I know that the team attended Founders Week on a Friday night at the Family Fun Night and seemed to have gotten some good input from that, so that's good. The second steering committee meeting is August 6th in the afternoon here to kind of go over some of the public comments and such. There's also, I think, a survey that they're going to do. So we'll get you some information on that and to help promote people, responding to that online survey. And then, as you may have noticed in your claims docket, last year the commission participated in giving some funding to the Summer Works program, and so that was in there again this year. I know the city has utilized that program. Mayor, if I may ask you, how many interns do you have? I've met one of them through that program.
I want to say right now this summer we have about 8 or 9. I know we have one with our media director, one with wastewater. She's, they love her. She actually chose our wastewater department. That's what she chose because she's going to do the civil engineering program at U of L. She might get a head start in that. We've got, I think, 3 out with our landscape team, our grounds team. There are 2 or 3 over in the parks department. And then there are, I think, 1 or 2 out doing our stormwater survey, documenting where all of our stormwater lines are and drains. So got quite a few.
You also got your first installment of TIF revenue, which was a little bit more than $1.5 million, if you noticed that in your fund report. So that's good. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Good report as always.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Old business, first item for old business is we have the High Street, High Jackson Road, Christianity
Yeah,
Parkway, RAB, round, is that roundabout?
Yes. I got sorry, my apologies, I had the wrong street down there. So, we have Andy from United Consulting here to give a presentation of where they are in that process, and then we'll talk about next steps.
Welcome, Andy.
Thank you, guys. Yep, I'm Andy Ellison. I am a project manager here at United Consulting. We are a civil engineering firm up in Indianapolis who are contracted to design this roundabout at High Jackson and Christianity Parkway. I brought with me Jeremy Richardson back there. He's our vice president and department manager as well. So the big guns, somebody to keep an eye on me down here. But next slide, please. I brought a map here to show you exactly where that roundabout is. It is going to be between some development there. There's a shadow connection there on the northwest side, and it connects to the recently constructed Christianity Parkway on the southeast, and then High Jackson Road there runs southwest to northeast. So we will include 4 legs of this roundabout, the 4th being that stub that'll go northwest towards future development as it comes. So I included a preliminary layout there that we had sketched up there, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what that looks like from an aerial. The Christianity Parkway Road is not constructed in the aerial, but we do have, obviously it is constructed now, so that is approximately where that is. To give you a quick status update here, the preliminary plans are approximately 50% complete. And so what that means is we've got like line and grade established. So we've got basically the layout of the roundabout laid out on paper. We've also established the elevation, the profile of the roadway. We were asked to include a vertical correction on High Jackson. If you've been out there, you might have noticed it goes up and down quite a bit there, and there's a bit of a sight distance issue. So if you're coming up over the hill a little too fast, you might have an issue seeing what's on the other side of it. So we've actually included a cut of approximately 5 feet in that location, so the road will be about 5 feet lower than it currently is. That means Christianity Parkway also will be lowered down to meet that as well. Obviously, we've got the roundabout laid out. I mentioned that already. We've centered that on the intersection, trying to reduce our impacts to the adjacent parcels. The expectation is that the land will be donated from the developers. we've worked through the drainage and concept. What I mean by that is that we have an idea of where we're planning on taking the water. We've coordinated a little bit with Josh Hillman there, who's running some of the development out there, to talk about where to take the drainage. And on that note, I've got another exhibit here. Oh, this exhibit shows you the difference in profile grade. That's just a snippet from our plans to try and give you an idea of scale there, that we're about 5 feet lower than the existing is. And one more, please. So here's a drainage exhibit that I prepared for you to just kind of show, hey, we're taking all the water in each quadrant and continuing the existing pattern that's already out there. So we're not making any changes to it. We'll be capturing the water in the curb and gutter and then piping it out to roadside ditches and then letting it perpetuate the existing pattern. So there are existing culverts crossing High Jackson on the southwest and northeast of the project. We will not be making any modifications to those, but I did want to mention that the culvert in the southwest corner there is, I'd say, underperforming. It's a little challenged in the existing condition. So it's something to keep an eye on in the future as the development continues in this area. You may need to investigate doing some detention. And there's plenty of area to do it on either quadrant of this roundabout as well. The southeast, northwest corners in particular have plenty of room to do something like that. I just wanted to bring that to the attention of the committee here. So, one more please. Shows the existing culverts. We've began our utility coordination as well for this construction project. That means we've sent out initial notice letters to the utilities as well as verification letters just to say, hey, we know you're out there. Just wanted to confirm you know you're out there as well. We began our early coordination with Clark County REMC, who will have, I think, 2 or 3 overhead poles that we'll have to relocate as part of this project. And the number you were probably most excited to see, our estimated construction cost is right at $3.1 million for this preliminary stage. So, do I have another slide on there? I've included our next steps moving forward here. Like I said, this is our preliminary plan, so we're at about 50%. The stages that we're looking at next would be continuing our state environmental documentation, so summarizing potential impacts to wetlands or streams, anything you may have in the area, we'll take a look at that. We'd like to continue our geotechnical investigation as well. That will really help identify how much rock is in the area. We have to account for that because it's a different pay item. It's a little bit more expensive to excavate that rock if it's out there, and I know there's plenty of it out here. And then also we'd like to continue our utility coordination as well. That means identifying where the conflicts are. We've already identified some of them with the REMC, and developing a work plan to make sure they are out of the way when it comes time to actually do the construction. So those are the next steps that we're going to be having in this project. So, any questions or applause?
You sent that out to us, right, Joe? We had it. You sent that out to us in advance.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I sent it out yesterday. Just to kind of get you up to speed.
Yeah.
So, we do have an agreement with United for the complete design of this project. It's broken out in phases. And so, due to circumstances outside of the city's control, or anyone at the city, I think we had initially anticipated paying for this out of maybe community crossings money, which has been changed somewhat during the last budget session. And so, not exactly sure right now where we can get that money that we're gonna need. But there's also a point, as Andy said, that there's already work ongoing that would be good to finish that work and not have to start over. Some of this, like the environmental, you would have to, if we don't finish it the way we're going now, then we would have to start over, pay for that again,
Yes.
I'm assuming we have to pay for that again. I've asked Andy and Jeremy and Bob to get me an estimate of what can we do to move these things forward, to get additional information without expending money that we're gonna have to expend again later, And so they gave me a total of about $35,000, which are elements within the phase 2 of their budget in their contract. That includes the finishing out the environmental, the geotech that we talked about, and then finalizing utility coordination. Especially the environmental and utility coordination, once you start, you really need to finish that, or then you have to start over. So, we don't want to stop the progression of the project, but we also don't want to move forward if we're not sure where we're gonna get that money. And hopefully in the next few months, we'll have a better idea.
So this will allow us to maybe get to the point where we can find out if we can get the rest of the money.
I think it'll get us to the point to where we won't have to redo anything that's already been done, and finalize some of the things that were started in phase 1. Which once we finalize the environmental, I'm just gonna look at you and tell me if I'm wrong. Once we finalize the environmental, unless you drastically change the design, then that's finished. And we can move forward from there. The geotech will help inform what else needs to be done as part of the design, and the utility coordination, get that all nailed down. And unless we have to do something drastic again and go outside of that, then that will be done. Won't have to go back and do it again.
So any delay would just more likely affect the cost.
Right.
Right, and I would just add on that the environmental documentation, you don't wanna sit on this for about 10 years either. There's a duration there that those things expire as well, so I don't know.
Right.
So,
It's not indefinite, in other words.
And I don't think anybody's intention is to sit
Right,
on
of
it that
course,
long, but
of course.
we are not, if we did move forward with all of phase 2, then that's money that you're spending without knowing if we can move forward with the
That's right.
construction.
That's right.
But these are things that are advantageous to get to a stopping point so that we don't have to do them again.
So I guess we're looking for a motion to approve the approximately $35,000. How do we wanna word that as 35,000 or?
And then phase 2 of the design, I think is what Jill alluded to, so you could make a motion to approve, phase 2, of United Consulting's design in an amount not to exceed 35,000.
Okay. I make a motion to complete phase 2 of United Consulting's project and not to exceed $35,000.
We have a motion by John. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Benita. Any further discussion? No further discussion. I'll ask for a vote to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you all, appreciate it.
Thanks, folks.
Thanks for the update, appreciate it.
Next item of old business is 501 Market Street demolition and parking lot construction.
I think last meeting, I handed out kind of a schematic of what the parking lot might look like. That's not been finalized. John, I don't think you saw that. I don't know if I sent it to you, so I got a copy here. Sorry. And I can send it out again. It's not finalized. There's some tweaking that we need to do on that, especially in those hard landscape areas in the corners. But what I'd like to do, because we have a specific time that we need to get this done within now, July 1st and October 1st. So I think at one of our subsequent meetings that we decided to put those projects together, both the demo of the building and then the construction of the parking lot. American Structure Point is who you've hired to do specifications for that project. They said we can do it in that time frame if we start in this month. So what I would like to do is just ask for your authorization to advertise for bids once they have everything ready. I'll send it to you all for review. I don't want to put anything out to bid that no one's seen, but I also don't want to wait until the August meeting to get that started, because we'll need to advertise for bids, receive the bids, and get people started on that. So that was my objective tonight, is if you would give me an authorization to advertise for bids.
Ask for a motion to approve the authorization of the advertising for bids for 501 Market Street.
I make a motion.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Ask for a vote to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Last item of old business, we have the Madison Street Green Alley improvement authorization to advertise for bids as well.
It's somewhat the same situation. We're not under the same time frame. And the time frame for the other project, by the way, was just in the time period that the city's not having events that might need to utilize that parking lot. So this is the sweet spot right now where you don't have to use the parking lot. In Madison Street and Green Alley, it's the same situation. The plans have been prepared. Actually, Matt has reviewed the bid specifications. So I would like to talk to HMB a little bit further about the plans they sent out, just to make sure that we're all on the same page, but not wanting to wait until the August meeting to advertise for bids if we are at the point where everybody agrees there. I think as far as Madison Street and Green Alley, we have the buy-in of the residents on both streets for the design that's been done. So that was an important piece of that as well.
I'll make a motion, we authorize putting out for bid the project, Green Alley and Madison Street.
We have a motion by John, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Bobby. Any further discussion? Ask our vote to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Moving on to new business, we have a Shadow Lake lighting agreement.
We've talked about this on and off, and Ross Brown Todd prepared an agreement that would be between, what was in your packet, that would be between the Redevelopment Commission, the Board of Public Works, and then the Shadow Lake Development Association. What I would like to do is get the Redevelopment Commission's approval in the dollar amount that we would commit to paying for those lights. I have all these papers. Sorry.
Do you want to look at mine?
No, it's okay, I got it here. I just didn't have it, but I thought I did. Here it is. So, thank you, Matt. $133,827 was the estimate from the REMC to provide the lighting that was laid out in what I sent to you, which is along Shadow Lake Drive, and then from 62 all the way out Christianity Parkway, as well as, that might be it. And the reason it cuts off where it does, so it is from what the public right-of-way is going to be somewhat short of where the roundabout is there on Shadow Lake Drive. It's the intention of that developer to turn all of that over, that would be public right-of-way, as well as then from the roundabout to Highway 62 at Christianity Parkway, and then from Christianity Parkway to High Jackson. Anything to the right of that on Quality Court is a different electric service, that's Duke.
That's
And they have at least indicated that they don't want to look at those lights until development starts on that side. So once development starts on that side, then we can request information from them on how much that might cost and the layout. Now, the commission, while the commission can use TIF money to pay for the installation of the lights, you can't use your TIF money to pay for the lights, the ongoing maintenance and the utility bill for that. That's why the Board of Public Works has been looped in. Matt's dying, I'm sure to say that, so I'm sorry, Matt, I'm something all over here. But you cannot pay for that, that's why the Board of Works is involved, and they can put in place the mechanisms to collect that money to pay for that, or I think the agreement says that they will bill that to the Shadow Lake Development Association.
Yeah, so basically, Redevelopment Commission can pay to finance public improvements, which these streetlights certainly but you all cannot pay for, or use TIF revenues to pay for operating or maintenance expenses, so.
So I guess what I'm asking for the commission to do, if you feel comfortable, is to agree to the dollar amount as was stated in the estimate. The redevelopment commission would pay for that. With that, then we can start filling in the blanks of that agreement and then take it to the other bodies as well. Each group, Perry McCall has reviewed this already before it came to you on behalf of the Board of Public Works. The Shadow Lake Development Association has also reviewed it and given us their feedback. And so all of those things are incorporated in the agreement that was sent to you.
You know, I know it was broken down into 3 phases. Do you think all 3 phases will be done at one time, or?
I haven't had that discussion with anyone, Derek, but will. My thought is it probably will. As long as those lights won't be in conflict with anything else that might be going on. I'm thinking more of Christianity Parkway from the roundabout to High Jackson. I think everything else there from 62 to Christianity Parkway to roundabout and Shadow Lake Drive is pretty much set.
Okay.
But I will ask that question. I don't know the answer to that question.
So the figure in that part A of the installation of street lights, did you repeat that amount? You said 131?
133,827, and that's just adding all those 3 sections together in that estimate from that email.
So I make,
I will make a comment on
Yeah.
that, we talked about that, at work today, that you know that, I'm employed at RMC, that is an estimate.
Yeah.
So it could be less, it could be more. I hope that it's less, but
so that,
I do too.
that is an estimate.
so the agreement though, so if we make a motion with that amount and approve it, any additional amount would have to be approved? Or are we saying that the amount could exceed 133,827?
From the way that I understand, the commission says this is how much we will pay for those lights.
Okay,
If the cost exceeds that, then either the Board of Works or the Development Association picks up the difference.
that's what I read in there.
Yeah. So if the commission's intent is to pay for the installation of lights, whether it's less or more, say it was $150,000, then just to get your thoughts on what you would like to do, I guess. If it is more than whether you would want to pay, or if there's a maximum amount that you would like to pay for those lights, then at least we can get that and get that settled and then work that out through the process.
But if we say here, if we approve an amount, 133,827, and I know this goes forward, then the agreement goes forward to try to get everyone else's buy-in. For whatever reason, that's exorbitantly more, you know, and we say, okay, so it's 200,000, or it's $200,000. And we say, okay, we want to help with that, because we can amend this. Yeah, okay, so there's no risk, I mean, it may slow down a little bit the process, but there's no risk in saying, this is how much we will commit for, no more now, but we can reinvestigate. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that was a possibility. So I make a motion that we approve paying $133,827 for the installation of the street lights as is projected at the moment.
We have a motion by John, is there a second?
I second.
Second by Bobby, any further discussion? Ask for a vote to approve, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes, thank you everyone.
Jill, do you also want them to make a motion to approve the substantially final form of the lighting agreement? Or do you expect this to go before the redevelopment commission again?
Whatever you suggest, Matt. I don't expect it to come back, since the big question, I think, is how much each entity was going to have to pay. And so, I guess my question is, do we execute this prior to I'm assuming we would execute it prior to RMC installing the lights.
Yes.
So, yes, so
So-
whatever you think is best.
So I think, I would also recommend that a motion be made to approve the substantially final form of the Shadow Lake lighting agreement.
Do we also give
Yeah, that's what I was
him
gonna
the
ask.
authority to execute it outside of a meeting?
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
recommend that be also part of the
Okay,
motion.
thank you. I've got it. You make that?
That's it.
We ask for a
Thanks,
motion
Robbie.
to approve what Matt described.
Nice. Is that specific enough for the law?
That works.
Okay.
Is that recorded?
Oh, it's all recorded.
We have a motion by Bobby, is there a second?
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Second by Benita. Any further discussion? Ask for a vote to approve. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you again. Is there any further discussion this evening?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
No further discussion. We'll ask for a motion to adjourn by, first by John, second,
I'll second
second by Benita. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
it.
Aye.
Thank you all. Please sign the claims document.